Welcome to Miami Beach to be specific, the Confidante Hotel to be more specific. We're on the 10th floor above this fantastic mural here, a great mural program around the Confidante Hotel all throughout Miami Beach. Of course, much of that inspired by the Wynwood Walls development in Miami. I am saying goodbye after a fabulous 3-day visit here where was able to see so much great art, so many of the museums I had wanted to see for a long time. The Rubel Museum, the Bass Museum, Perez Art Museum. But there were hidden surprises, hidden gems as well. The Wilsonian Museum, part of Florida International University, has a fantastic program on right now. Art for Justice, a look at how communists in the United States, of all people, helped save 8 innocent African-American young men from being executed for after being falsely accused of rape in Alabama during the 20th century, mid-20th century. A fabulous exhibit there. They also have a program looking at the New Deal era federal art project. How about the Museum of Graffiti? I mentioned Wynwood Walls, which is world famous for its street art mural program, but a block from there, the Museum of Graffiti is a small space that tells the story of graffiti art, which of course turned into mural art like the one we just looked at, and so much public art. It tells the story of how, young kids, really, not even young adults, it was kids in the 70s took to the street as a creative outlet, something to do, and spawned what is now the most popular art movement in the world, graffiti. So from the big, the posh, the well-known to the small, street art, museums mostly with contemporary art, Miami really has it all, and so many great artists I got to see up close here, work that's hard to find, candidly. Amako Bofao, who may be the most celebrity-driven is the wrong word, but he may be the top contemporary art star in the world right now. There's a painting of his at Bass Miami, and there are a number of paintings of his at the Rubel because he was their artist in residence in 2019. Rashid Johnson, Keith Haring, so much great Keith Haring work at the Rubel Museum. They've got a Jean-Michel Basquiat there. A fabulous community of contemporary art and a fabulous community in general. As I talk to you, we are 4 days removed from white nationalists attempting to overthrow our government at the behest of the sitting president, Donald Trump. Armed separatists broke into the Capitol building, stormed the Capitol, and attempted a coup. And these white supremacists are attempting to entrench a long-held vision, a long-held reality in America where white people have all the power and everyone else is under their thumb. And coming to Miami this week, one of the most international cities in the country, made me think deeply about Trump's people, the Republicans, so-called conservatives, right-wingers, who are now inseparable from white nationalists, who are now inseparable from white supremacists, and the rest of us trying to uphold a good, fair, free, equal, decent society. And walking around Miami and Miami Beach, driving around, seeing so many black faces, brown faces, seeing so many LGBTQ people, seeing their culture, their interactions, that classic American melting pot, wanting to learn more about it, see more about it. These are beautiful people with a beautiful culture, and it excited me to be here, to be among them. Where I live in Jacksonville, Florida, Amelia Island, nowhere near the diversity that exists here in Miami, and coming here and seeing all these Latinx people, black people, folks from all over the country and the world, in fact, made me excited to learn more about them, to learn more about their culture. The Perez Museum, the Rubel Museum, El Espacio 23, so many of the cultural institutions down here have a focus on Latinx, Black, African diaspora artists, which really enthused me, educated me, excited me, and it brought me back again to the insurrectionists, Trump's white nationalists, and trying to get into their thought processes and their mind, which is a scary place to be, but they operate off of exclusion, obviously, not inclusion. Their worldview is very narrow. They only want to be exposed to what they already know, what they already see, their personal experience. It is one driven by ignorance and one driven by not wanting to be exposed to anything new, not wanting to be exposed to different people, different cultures, different attitudes. And when you look at their entire worldview, which is fueled by ignorance and hatred, does it surprise you that they are more likely to believe in conspiracy theories than reality? That they're more likely to believe the election was stolen, something that has been disproven, than climate change, something that is obvious and ongoing? Their worldview is much more akin to a faith, a belief, all driven by hatred and white supremacy. And that has really struck home with me being here in Miami, such a diverse city, a culturally diverse city, such a beautiful city with so many beautiful people. The folks, the villains who stormed the Capitol building attempting to overthrow our government want to wipe Miami off the map. They want to wipe this diversity out of America. They want to continue an American state that preferences and indulges whiteness exclusively. And when you come to a place like Miami with so much great diversity, so much great culture, you realize what we're fighting for. Goodness, culture, fairness, equality, inclusion, sensitivity versus Trump's hordes of evil, hordes of white nationalists, armed insurrectionists who want to take this country backwards into Jim Crow, backwards into separate but equal, backwards into lynching. And one of the great opportunities with travel is to see different people, see different places, expand your worldview, and come to a place like Miami. This is the future of America. A great saying, I think it's from For Freedom's billboard campaign that was in Times Square. There are black people in the future. Trump supporters don't want black people in their future. They don't want brown people in their future. They don't want any diversity in their future. And coming to Miami has really brought that home to me. Coming here on the heels of what happened at the Capitol on January 6th makes me want to learn more about people who don't look like me, people who don't think like me. And the future of this country will be determined one way or the other. Sadly, this nation is at war internally. On one side are the good people, On the other side are the bad people, the white nationalists, the Trumps. One side will win, one side will lose. Hopefully it is the side of diversity and inclusion and culture, but that's up for debate. And if you can come to Miami, I hope you're able to. I hope you see all this great culture, all these great museums. I hope you think deeply about what America would look like if it embraced all these different cultures and all these different people as fully as Miami and Miami Beach does. And hey, Miami and Miami Beach has its problems. Obviously, every city does. But those problems hopefully are being resolved by a community of people, a diverse community of people, not simply white people with money and influence and power and guns. And I have a great deal of optimism that America can become more like Miami and less like what we saw on the Capitol January 6th. And we'll leave you with what we call a beauty shot in the industry, looking down Miami Beach from the 10th story of the Confidante Hotel.